monster a fish monkey thing with its tail?
I think it was a squid.
It's a tadpole. Maybe it's a tadpole.
Hey everyone, welcome back to AsArt with Nick Johnny. Post 3 videos a week. So go ahead and click subscribe and check out asart.space for all the audio and video links. So just a heads up, we did a overall review of The Host a little bit earlier. This is more of a special effects, visual effects breakdown. This is not in depth. This is just us talking about our general thoughts. Because one, you have to figure this probably doesn't have a huge budget for the visual effects and special effects, but two, they work quite well in the context. Nick has some things about it. I have some things about it. Nick, go and start us off.
Yes, and just so you guys know, we also did a VFX breakdown on the Parasite movie too.
Yes.
You guys should check that out. That was pretty cool because that's more about minimal VFX.
Yeah,
so this is
which
very
made it
like
even
the
more
monsters
fun.
in front of you. Like you need VFX. The other one, so good. Subscribe, click the button.
Which is cool to see from the same director, just
Yes.
doing different things, different genres as well. Yes, go ahead.
All right, so let's talk about the tadpole lizard squid fish.
I think they said it was based off of a squid, or they had a thing where like, this thing only has 9 tentacles instead of 10 that they were serving, or maybe they're just talking about mutations in general. I don't know, but
cool. But it sure knows how to swing really well.
Yeah, I definitely. There was like a orangutan or something. Yeah, but
yeah, orangutan. Whoa, hold on. I'm scared. I'll be throwing out my animals now like willy nilly. Okay. So
welcome
let's talk
back
about
to
it.
Animal Planet.
Yeah, talk about. Like, okay, we have our classic monsters like Jaws, aliens, and we don't see them until the very end of the movie. Like, they like hold it off for the longest time, right? Because it's more like the mystery of what keeping it scary.
Yeah, for sure.
What do they do in this movie, John?
They hint early on, hey, look at this weird little thing, and it's just people that has something with a little bucket, and then I'm assuming you fast forward in time, and then they see it. Like people see it off the distance, but they show it to you from a camera angle pretty clearly. And then all of a sudden, the next shot or the next scene, it's on the shore chasing after people. So
attacking everyone.
Attacking everyone. It's like King Kong, but in the first 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes. It's pretty intense too. The whole like running around and they try to pick up the cement thing. And, it's like a whole like everyone's trying, though not everyone. Some people are trying to do whatever they can to save anyone or someone, but let's talk about the monster.
Yeah.
Do you think it was fully 3D the whole time?
You know what? So the good thing about this is sometimes I have a hard time doing this. Sometimes I don't. I didn't think about the effects that much in this film. I was mostly just watching and enjoying it, which I appreciate when I can do that because it's hard. If you guys, are into photography or art or anything, it's hard to just look at something and just enjoy it for what it is without trying to break it down. And for a good while, I couldn't go to the movies or watch a movie without trying to break down every single little thing. And I catch myself a lot of times still doing that. The curse. It's a cool thing is you can understand the trade, but at the same time, it takes away the I don't want to call it ignorance. It just takes away the pure enjoyment of it. So
it's like once you know.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like you can't get rid of it, right? It's like the red pill and the blue pill. Like we took the pill.
Yeah, we took both of them. Yeah, we overdosed. For me, I guess I didn't really analyze it. The only thing I analyzed is like, you know what? I think for the budget they had, they did an excellent job with the effects. That's all I really thought. For you, were you looking at it more closely?
Yes, I was. Because being an animator, I like to look at weight. I think weight's the most important thing when it comes to 3D animation of monsters. We did a Witcher breakdown, and I was talking about the weight of the monsters. Like for example, the dragon. It bugged me because I felt like it didn't have the right weight. You know what I mean? Because it felt so like flimsy and 3D-ish. Like whenever it feels kind of floaty, it's like 3D. You know what I mean? You don't really.
And Nick is talking just talking about one character in The Witcher. There was some other creatures that had better weight and stuff to them, but
guys, watch our Witcher video. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. If you want to hear me rip on the Witcher, anyways, I thought they did a good job with weight because it was like a tadpole because it only had like 2 legs, right?
I think so.
So it would like flop around everywhere. It was just like you know what I mean, like, and I thought it was like a great job with the weight and everything. I think the only thing is like you can't fix this because I don't know their budget and stuff was probably the quality of the detail of the monster when it comes to like the textures and like actually making it look wet because like if you think about it, like Well, when did this movie come out? 2006.
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, in that case, it's kind of older film.
Yeah, it's an older
2006.
film. That's what I'm saying. Like, because you have to like.
That's good. That's good then. That's really good.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah, and but it's also full daylight. Like some of the best 3D monsters are in the dark.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean. Because you get away with a lot, right? Because you know you can't see every detail and stuff. This thing was almost in like broad daylight, like
From the
every
get
single
go.
shot. Yeah, and it's just incredible.
And then that makes it very interesting from a creative standpoint too, because the director wasn't going after making a horror movie, because if you were going after that, then you would probably follow the successors, or the predecessors that do that successfully, and you would have kept it more kind of hidden for a good chunk of time. So it's really interesting how they approach that. Nick kind of said this in our overall review. Is a really ballsy move to have your creature on the shore running around almost right from the get-go, because there's no mystery at this point what it is. You see what it is right away. It's not like they start breaking it down and start doing an autopsy on it later or anything like that, but there's no mystery to what's pursuing you at that point. It's just more, okay, what is it doing with its victims, and how does that relate back to this family? That really is the whole story. So from a special effects and visual effects standpoint, I wasn't watching that closely, but I think you had mentioned that you felt like there was a split in shots from practical and
Warning, spoilers, major spoilers. How about that? Major spoilers ahead.
story
Woohoo.
story concluding spoilers.
Yeah,
in digital.
I mean, obviously, there had to be practical for the close-up shots. I feel like, especially for when he's pulling his daughter out. I feel like they built and sculpted a monster for when they pulled out the kid, his daughter, because that would be way too much.
Oh, that last
Yeah.
shot when they pull it out. Okay, yeah.
And I think
I
also
wasn't
the
sure
scene with the tongue. Remember when like the tongue?
Yeah.
Remember like the tongue? I think that was also. It felt like stop motion. If you go back, gosh, I'm sorry. If you go back and watch it, the way his hair relaxes just felt like stop motion. The way it relaxed after it got licked. But anyways, I don't know. But I wish I need to. I was looking for VFX breakdowns on this video, because we like to sometimes look to see what they did and stuff.
Yeah,
I couldn't find anything.
The biggest thing to me is, and I usually do this, I'm surprised I didn't, especially since the movie I liked, is I usually go on Wikipedia and read the production and the making ofs, and check the budget, and did it make money, did it lose money, what the post-production budget was, because Nick was saying maybe didn't feel like it had the detail that like a huge studio would be able to do, but I thought it was perfectly passable. The way they used it, I don't think they tried to stretch it beyond its bounds. In fact, I think they did things that they probably shouldn't have. Putting it in broad daylight, full body view, I don't think was the best thing for a scary monster type of story.
I think that goes to the story, though. It's like you're not safe even during daylight, because I feel like most of the time in horror films, like daylight's like the safe zone, right? And then once it gets dark, that's when all the bad stuff happens.
That's true.
And
that's true.
And it's just like, I think it was one of those things, like, this is not a safe area, daylight, hanging out, free time, whatever it is, kind of thing. And no one is safe, and that's why the little girl's taken. Kind of thing, right away, and we see it all happen, kind of thing.
Maybe what we're talking about as norms is just the U.S. American way of making movies. Maybe horror films in other countries don't do it that way, but I feel like when you think of some of the other foreign films that I've seen that are kind of scarier movies, they don't show. Maybe it's for budgetary reasons. But they don't show the monster. One of my favorite. This is a really short aside, but one of my favorite foreign films that's kind of an action movie. It's like a medieval Matrix. It's called Le Pacte de Loup, The Brotherhood of the Wolf, and it's a French film, and it's based on historical events. But obviously, they took a lot of creative liberties. But they have this beast in it, and you don't see it very much. There's a couple shots when you see it. It looks pretty bad because the visual effects budget wasn't high, but it was more of kind of like the Jaws or Alien approach, to where you don't see it at all until the very end, and then even then it's just quick. It's letting your imagination run with it. So this was a very different departure from that, and I don't know if the visual effects team helped encourage that, like, hey, we want to show this more, we want to show off what we can do, or the director had a vision for that. It's very interesting. It would be interesting to have maybe not just a visual effects breakdown, but a documentary on how they decided to do what they did in this film. One thing this did remind me of a little bit as far as monster design, and you do see this kind of gross, like weird mouth looking design on a number of creatures. You see this. The first time I ever seen it is an older game. It's called Doom 3 for PC, and you had it on Xbox. You had something that had a kind of weird mouth like that. But you also get that in some other films. I'm trying to think of what. Oh, in King Kong, there's the weird leeches when they're like taking. But anyway, it does have some similarities to other monsters. What are you going to say?
Yeah, I'm just going to add to that. It reminds me of one of the bosses from Ocarina of Time, the video
We're
game.
just jumping all the
I think
games.
it's in it's like in the second temple when you're a kid. It's like this two-legged monster, or maybe there's just two-legged monsters in the game that are lizard-like and stuff, and the way they move. It's maybe he was a Legend of Zelda fan, man. You never know. Maybe he got inspired.
But the cool thing is, you know what? It obviously wasn't like the alien, you know, the famous Geiger alien. It wasn't like that, but it was a cool original creature, and it was fun stuff. So, you guys, if you have some behind the scenes, or you can point us to some videos for documentaries on this film, we'd love to watch them. We love that stuff. But if not, we'd love to hear what your thoughts were on the effects. Did you think it was really good? Did you think that lacked in certain areas? Do you think it was a mix of practical and visual effects? Let us know. We'd love to hear that stuff. It's fun to have that community and that conversation. So go ahead and check out AsArt.space for the audio and video links. Thank you very much for watching. Go and click subscribe if you like the content. Check out the regular review that we did for the movie as well for the host, because that's kind of fun and kind of a companion piece for this. And we'll see you on the next AsArt.